So explain to me why hat people can't be playboys, because this is important to me.
Well,
this is important to me.
That, I think it's about time to get started, you guys.
No,
let's start the game. Let's have some fun.
Watch, he's gonna add an NPC now that just wears like 40 hats. And
Why would you want to be a
I'm gonna find the sexiest hat person in the world.
Oh, fuck.
We're going to like.
Why would you want to be one?
I don't know. But I
Matt,
I don't like the world denying me that I can't be something because of my hat.
She's not the world. It's just one person. Chill.
Every time Cassius is gonna show up wearing
What are you?
now.
What are you? Fucking JoJo, but I am.
I don't know JoJo.
It is I, Dio.
Also, Matt,
It's pretty to watch JoJo.
I'll tell that you're you can be a playable with a hat. Just tonight, please do not call on me when I'm not like sitting in front of my camera, because I'm using push to talk. So if I'm like somewhere else and you say, "Oh yeah, what do you think about that, Elizabeth?" I'm like, "Fuck."
You're gonna have to run. I'm sorry, I won't change my style for anyone. You have to run. And if you don't run, it'll be like one of those not Mass Effect. What's the game where like you have a timer to reply? And if you don't reply, it just like
Telltale games?
Yes! And you're like a timer to reply, and if you don't reply, your character just stands there like a dead man. They're like, what? What are you're not talking to me, huh?
Are you going to say stuff like Cassius will remember that?
Cassius will remember that was good.
you 30 minutes to respond to Niall.
Okay.
I can do one right now.
I can do one. Niles is a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
You all gang up on my NPCs when they're all just trying to do the right thing.
Oh, hey! When do I ever gang up on your NPCs?
Yeah, see,
I'm the one person who doesn't.
He's a good person. Apart from what you did to Ryan Reynolds, we won't talk about that. But yeah.
Well, he's a very playable character.
He is a very playable character.
He's a very playable character.
He's not an NPC at all. Ryan Reynolds actually has full control of his character should he ever show up in the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna release that now. Ryan, if you're watching this, if you're one of the two people watching this,
can we stop mentioning him?
So Ryan, just a couple. I just wanted to check out a couple of sessions ago. Yeah. The ending of it's perfect.
Full disclosure, Ryan, I think you're a 4.
I like
Carry on.
Out of 5.
Out of 4.
Out of 4.
And with that,
we will not pay you, but maybe Emil will under the table.
Let's just say we can't pay you. We can't pay you, but we can try. And with that, I don't
know if you're married or have.
He is married. He's very married. He's happy. He's got kids.
Emil,
anything
shut the
can
fuck
be
up,
broke.
Emil.
Oh, sorry.
Shut the fuck up and let Matt talk, because I want the game to begin. Because once it's one of you guys is seen, I can go to the fucking toilet. So please, please.
All right.
You can go to the toilet. Just be prepared that if it might turn to you whilst.
I'm gonna call her right as she goes.
Fast.
Okay. So. Last time we left off, Syriinx, do you want to give us a recap of what happened last time we left off?
So unprofessional. She's just not here.
Dude, you're gonna have to cut out so
sorry.
much.
No.
Craig? Do we need Craig?
Oh shit! Let's get Craig.
Yeah,
no, do we need Craig? Do we need Craig?
Yes.
I'm asking you. You're the boss.
I don't download him anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't need to. It doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, the audio works fine anyway.
Yeah.
I've fixed the issues.
It
looks like it's working. I don't think I need Craig.
Double check like the levels, because we've had scenes in which I was incredibly loud and I had no idea.
Yeah, I've got my level way high and I've got you guys a little bit down, which usually works out. Okay. And with that, let's jump into the game.
Yeah.
So, last time we left off, you guys had found yourself in a bit of a lull. The group splitting up momentarily to go about your various own businesses as you went about the town. The case of the strange statue's destructions being sort of not put to the side, but just being left for the moment as you dealt with more important things. Ned, you moved into your new house and smashed it up a bit with Todd and ran into Nahia. And whilst you did, you also spent some time on your laptop watching some videos of Pookie and finding a little bit out about more of what's going on in the upper echelon of the society beyond the Veil. And you found out that there's a fight going on up in Barrow Ridge that you've been invited to go see 2 weeks hence from now. You agreed to go after the person Arabast gave you an invitation, but you're not completely certain about what it is you're going to see and what role you're going to play with that. Dante, you did some stuff on your own.
Yes.
I'm not going to go into the details of that because there's
Thank you.
a lot of stuff that went on. But coming to the conclusion of that, you then set out with Nahia to find out some more information, tracking down a lawyer that had been working as the defense for one Daniel Harberman. You spoke to him, found out some things, and generally figured out that the legal system in Ullmanoch is shit. And it is heavily rigged against anyone that the state doesn't seem to like. You finished this conversation with the lawyer giving you a name of someone by the name of Maddie Neelan, who is a bit of a sabotager slash breaker into of things, bit of an expert at that kind of thing. And he told you that a lot of the evidence and information that he's been trying to get a hands on is hidden deep within the university archives, and that's where you need to get looking. Meanwhile, Nahia was with you that whole time. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Weiss, Elizabeth Weiss, decided to go on a little bit of a trip with one of her colleagues, a man by the name of Niles, a professor in the university who's in charge of the archives, looking after them and making sure that no one gets in. He was a rather aloof and distant individual, one that you all knew one which both you and Dante knew quite well. And after talking to him over lunch, he told you that he was heading off to Kingstown to look out over a damaged statue, or destroyed statue rather, that had been destroyed in the city centre, in the town centre of Kingstown. You agreed to go with you, and you drove out to Kingstown. Upon arrival, however, Niles continued to drive through the town and deeper into it until you came upon a house hidden deep within the countryside, far removed from all civilization. It was here, in this derelict, sort of abandoned little house, that there were several people waiting for Niles. A gang of people heavily tattooed and all carrying firearms, with a case in front of them. Niles stopped the car, stepped outside, and began to talk with them. And after a short amount of talking, he clicked his fingers, and every single one of them froze in place, unable to move. Then calmly and with ruthless efficiency, Niles shot each and every one of the gang members before picking up the case and climbing back into the car with the case in hand and placing it in the back seat. With that, he turned to look at you, Elizabeth, and drove off. And that is where we left off last time. So, who wants to give me a monologue to start us off? I'm thinking big candidates for this are Maddie, Elizabeth, or possibly Ned.
I'm not giving a monologue until we've got any interactions with the other crew members.
You could have just said you don't want to hear me.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't know. I wasn't saying that I don't want to hear you. I'm just saying that I know what you're thinking already. So
I think I can go.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been a while though. Gee.
Yeah. Think on the spot.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. I guess there's like at least a bit of thoughts that go through Elizabeth's head as she sits in this car with the man who she thought to just be a colleague who just, had some power and shot several people on the spot. Although one of them is maybe not something that would be as English. She's gonna be thinking about Dante, and it's just weird. We had this conversation, and I opened up to him, and he opened up to me, and it all seemed like he was coming to terms with things, and then I don't hear from him 2 days, and he leaves. He fucks off. That tells that he doesn't trust it anymore. I mean, if it was that easy to leave this group, I'm sure he wouldn't have been the first to do it. So then, why did he? Well, it doesn't really matter right now. I mean, I may have to call him, depending on what turns out to be happening with a colleague over here, but it's just the only thing I can think of is last time I was in trouble, Dante was the one who came to save me. And I hope he will do it again this time.
You look at Niles as you think this, the car grinding off the gravel and leaving that crunching noise as it turns and drives away from the derelict once mansion, weaving its way through this sort of dirt road, through the trees around you. There's very little light. The only light is coming off the headlights of the car as you sort of grind your way through the little curving road. Niles' eyes are focused on the road, and you take him in for once. He's a skinny man, not particularly tall, not particularly, anything. He's a bit unremarkable, would be the best way to describe him. Dour, rather boring, rather simple. His glasses flash ever so slightly with the reflections of the light flashing back into his eyes. And his eyes are stern and steady, and they have the one thing about him that are not normal and boring. And as he comes out onto the main road now, you can just see the dark line of the sea stretching out. It's so dark at this point of night that it's just sort of an outline, like a feeling of the sea right there. He drives onto the road, and for a moment he turns to look at you, and you see the eyes behind those flashing glasses, and they truly are not normal. Up until now, he has avoided eye contact, feigning shyness, feigning uncertainty, and he's not uncertain now. His eyes are cool, blue, and startlingly intelligent. He regards you for a moment, then turns back to the road and goes, "So, shall we talk?"
I think Elizabeth, she would have definitely watched to see, but she would have also closed her eyes for a minute and just lean back in the seat. I shall heave a sigh. Yeah, maybe talking about this will at least help somewhat.
I think talking can help sometimes, and sometimes it only makes things worse. It's up to you to decide for this time.
Look, no offense, Niles. You killed a few people back there. Some would say it couldn't get much worse than that. However, I think, honestly, talking will only help things right now. I'm not taken aback by you killing people, although I wouldn't. You don't seem like the type, and I'm sure you get that a lot.
The type? He reaches up, takes his glasses off for a second, and rubs his eyes. Still driving with one hand, and the car remains perfectly centered on the road. The glasses slip back on again, and he goes, And tell me then, Miss Weiss, what would you consider the usual killing type? Those men you saw back there. What is your definition of a killer? Because I hate to say that you're being hypocritical, but, well.
The last killer I saw, Niles, was a lovely young woman, around 30 to 40, who was just looked like an average gal, ran a bar, and yet somehow killed people. So I think I have a varied sense of who killers can be. They don't just have to be rough people.
You're referring to Lucia Lemel. Are you not?
I wasn't the first person I was thinking about, no. I didn't know she killed people.
Another one, then. Remarkable bartenders have a talent for violence, then.
Maybe. But that's besides the point. The point is, killers can have a lot of faces.
And what makes someone a killer, then? Why aren't you a killer?
Did I ever say those words, Niles?
No.
Right, then you have your answer, don't you?
Oh, look, if you look left here, you can see that's the Bay of Artros. There's a rather famous little cove down there. Beautiful beach. Well, used to be beautiful. Tourists came and polluted it. It's an ugly little thing now. Overthrown with Coca-Cola bottles and plastic bags and dog shit. Not a nice place anymore. Sorry, you were saying something.
You have a history with this town?
Yes, a bit of a history. You can say that. It's a wonderful place. A special place. Do you not feel it?
Are we still driving in Kingstown, or are we back?
You're driving towards Kingstown at this point. You have to come out of Kingstown and then on and hit the motorway. You're still in the countryside at this point.
And she'll kind of raise a hand. I don't feel anything. No.
Nothing.
I mean, I told you I thought Ullmanoch was a special town. I don't feel the same way about Kingstown. I've never been here before today.
Oh, no, I meant everything here. All of it. This place is special.
Right. Special is one way to put it, yeah. Although it's not always the best thing.
He reaches down and picks up the pistol and places it on his lap. Are you scared of me, Miss Weiss?
I'm not scared you're gonna kill me.
Why would I kill you?
I don't know, you're having a gun inside your lap and then asking me if I'm scared. It seems a logical connection. If that's not the point you're trying to make, then you might as well put away the gun, you know?
He smiles, and you drive on for another minute or so, then he pulls the car into the right. There's a grinding halt against the gravel as he stands and slowly opens the door of the car. You are pulled into the side of a winding road over a cliff, and there is water off to your left. He steps out into the cool air and moves to the front of the car and sits on the bonnet. The gun is still in his hand.
For a second again, she's gonna close her eyes and then reluctantly open the car door and step out as well. And for a moment stand next to the front of the car.
You stand there and you see he's not looking at you. He's looking across the stretching black waters to the distant lights of the city of Ullmanoch. The pistol is resting in his hands as he watches it. Sometimes I wonder if she is still back there, waiting for me to come home.
Niles, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Hand me the gun. I'm not gonna shoot you.
He flips the gun round and hands it to you completely calmly.
She seems kind of relieved by that. Takes it and just puts it like on the ground next to her or something. Like she doesn't hold it, but this just seemed like a situation that could have gone very wrong in her eyes. Not for her, but somehow for Niles. So yeah, she'll put it down on the ground and then say, "Thank you. Sorry to interrupt like that, but I've seen scenes like these before. Someone on a cliff overlooking the pretty night sky with a gun in their hands and talking about their past loved ones."
Oh, no, Miss Weiss. You misunderstand. He looks back to the water, and takes off his glasses, folds them, and slips them into his pocket. Are you scared of me, Miss Weiss?
I get a feeling you'd appreciate it if I said yes somehow.
That is not what I want.
Then no, I'm not.
The names we choose are treacherous things. They betray us, deny our nature, undermine us. I'm afraid I can't have you interfering at the moment.
She's not looking at him at this moment.
But I appreciate you have someone waiting for you. And it is with my greatest regret that I deny her your homecoming. He stands.
Thought you weren't going to kill me.
He stands slowly, and you can see he seems taller now. Stronger, less ordinary. He looks at you calmly, his eyes flashing with intense understanding, as he leans forward and goes, "You see, Miss Weiss, I must live up to my name. I must show you and your friends the meaning of fear." And with that, we're going to jump to the rest of the group. So, Dante, you pick up your phone as you are outside the lawyer's office, and you dial the number of Maddie.
I'm not going to say what I want to say right now. What I messaged you last week, I'm not going to say it.
Ooh.
You're very,
Dante.
you're very observant, is all I'll say.
Dante, after leaving Elijah's office and getting back to Nahia's car, stands not entering the car. He's not been invited. So he says, after he says, "Let's call this Maddie Nayland," he takes out his phone. He looks at it and he sort of freezes in place for a while. He starts thinking, you know, it's kind of funny. If I could still laugh, I probably would. They can't touch him. They won't touch him because he always loses to them. I'm not gonna immediately call Maddie. I'm gonna look up the closest shop that has any phones with prepaid plans.
I thought you were about to say flowers, and I was going to say fuck you.
For fuck's sake, why would I do that?
I know.
I'm a man on a mission, for fuck's sake.
The closest shop that does prepaid phones?
Yeah, burners. I need to buy a few burners.
You can find one of those quite quickly down the road. There's just
so
sort of like a corner shop.
Nahia. I just don't know here.
Yeah? You're not coming?
We need to swing by a shop. Then we need to call Maddie, Elizabeth, and the arsehole. Let's go get him.
The arsehole?
Yeah.
You see sort of a twinge in her face, like she doesn't completely agree with you, but she lets you get into the car and drives. It's a very short way down the road. It's a little corner shop. Arabic music playing over the speakers.
As many as they have. Like, I just buy burners.
Yeah, that you come in and you buy like as many as you can. They've got like they've got, I'm gonna say they've roughly got around like 6 or 7 on the thing. They're not a big shop. But you managed to get 6 or 7 burner phones together. The cashier, sort of like an older Arabic man, does not seem to like perturbed at all at this. He just scans them across, doesn't completely normal, hands you your thing, takes the money.
We get the phone. Then we get back, and once we get into the car, Dante just says, "This will sound like an odd request, but you're gonna have to make the call."
Wait, who are you calling with this?
Well,
Wait.
I'll call Maddie, but I also want to call Elizabeth, but I don't want it to be me. I need Nahia to call Elizabeth, so I tell Nahia.
Nahia's gonna take the phone, and she will. Yeah, she'll call Elizabeth.
Call Elizabeth, and
Okay.
I don't know, fabricate the reason for us to meet. I have things to tell everyone.
Okay, we'll do your calls first, Gurubashi, and in the background, Nahia's gonna be trying.
I'll call Maddie. I'll call the number Elijah gave me on a burner phone.
Okay, Maddie, what are you doing when this phone goes off?
What time is it in the day?
What time?
It's now late evening, like coming into dark. It's like getting dark at this point.
Right, Maddie is just sitting in her own little attic room, currently watching watching Inglorious Bastards on a pretty old-looking television, and yeah, just drinking a beer as she does so.
Okay. They call him the Bear Jew, and as that scene is happening, your phone sort of buzzes to life nearby
and
you.
when I hear that, I immediately rush over to a drawer that is just full of different phones. I rapidly start to look for the one that's buzzing.
You find it very shortly. You
find the one that's going off, and I.
This is like Step Brothers, but like, are we just best friends? You stumble across the phone, and as you flip it open, you hear on the other side of the line,
Miss Nayland.
Yeah.
Who
is this?
You come recommended by a common acquaintance of ours. A certain solicitor who I don't want to name on the phone.
Right.
We need to talk about the case, if you don't mind.
Sure. Who is this?
I'll tell you in person.
Right. As a
You choose the place wherever you want to be safe.
Matt, can you pop up the map real quick?
The map should be up. Oh, no, it's not there. Oh, yeah,
nope.
it's the wrong one.
That's
There you go. That's the one without the details.
Uh-huh.
There you go. There's
that. There's a abandoned DVD shop in Russet Way. Find me in the parking lot behind it.
Works for me.
That is the most Russet Way location you could have come up with. That's brilliant. Okay.
Right, see you there.
I look at yeah. After the phone, we put the phone down. I look at Nahia and go, Elizabeth.
So Nahia, she's on the phone currently to Elizabeth, phoning. Across town, a phone is buzzing in your pocket, Elizabeth. Niles' eyes sort of look down at it and look back up at you, and for the moment his thin eyebrows rise ever so slightly.
But this is before that scene, right? Because that scene takes place time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do. Yeah, when you're just gonna have to say it doesn't ring. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with mismatch time. Then no, yeah, she's not gonna be able to have answered it. I'm sorry.
So what does Nahia tell Dante?
She's just gonna look back at you guys. Just go, sorry, went to voicemail.
Fuck. Right. I'll deal with the prick later. Let's go meet Miss Nayland.
As you're getting into the car, Nahia is dialing Ned's number.
She already is?
Yeah, she's already dialing it.
Wait, who are you calling?
Ned, you said call the asshole, but
no, after Nayland. After Nayland. Look, you don't know. He blabs. Yeah. He can't keep his fucking mouth shut. He gave a whole bloody press conference on the details of our first case.
I didn't. Oh, okay. But he gave my husband. Well, he gave my fiance an autograph. Never mind. Let's just go. Let's just go.
Dante just looks at her like this woman's off her fucking mind.
She just seems.
And?
That. I just think. Never mind. Let's just go. And she gets into the car.
He doesn't tell her that her fiance has no taste, because that would be too cruel. After like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of a drive to the DVD, I do want to arrive before Maddie and kind of hang about and see if she arrives alone or with whom or whatever.
Okay.
Just after 5 minutes, Dante just goes. It was a lie, by the way, in case you're wondering.
What was a lie?
What he said last time we met was a fucking lie.
Well, who
He
said?
made up a lie to throw in my face. Halford. I've not left anyone behind.
That's good to know.
I'm the one left behind. And he just looks out the window and
She
drives
sort of,
on in silence for the rest of it.
she sort of seems uncertain for a moment. She goes, well, I hate to contradict you, but I think Jasmine was left behind.
Not by me. Not by anyone in this group.
Yeah. And you see her hand just drifts to her stomach. Just rubs it for a second and the car keeps driving.
You think we should have stayed there? Waited for more of
I didn't say
Silver
that.
Pricks or whoever?
I didn't say that.
Or maybe we should have gone with Halford's plan and involved Zyra Shah, a woman who's even newer at this than we are.
Look, I'm new, so I don't know.
We're all new. You're gonna have to start catching up sooner or later.
I just think whatever is happening to all of us, it's, well... She sort of trails off and goes into silence. And you can tell she's just not ready to talk about this right now. She sort of accepted where the conversation ends. You drive on. The day started getting darker as you do, and find yourself outside an abandoned DVD rental place. The inside's being gutted, boards over the windows that remain. Some of them have been broken through and shattered inwards. Some kids have set fires inside this place, and others have scrawled their sprays and their images across the sides. Across one side, you can see something that looks like it says "fuck the thorns," but you're not sure. It might say "fuck with corns." You're not quite sure. It just sort of, you're not sure, but it looks like it might say "fuck the thorns." Maddie, are you there, or are you not yet at this point? Do you arrive early or late?
I would try to be the first to arrive, but I can imagine if Dante is also arriving with that in mind, it might be earlier than Maddie.
You don't have a car, yeah?
I have a car.
You do have a car. Well, then, yeah, you're closer.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you will arrive and you see Maddie is... oh, yeah, of course you have a car. Sorry, what is wrong with me? Of course you have a car. Actually, a very nice car, which I might say. Which is, as you pull up, Dante, you do see in front of this sort of slightly destroyed movie store, you do see... Describe your car for us, Manny.
Right, so there's a green Lancer right there in front of the right there on the parking lot. It's got a black hood, tinted windows, some very nice black rims. This clearly is a very loved car, and yeah. Inside, you see, just through the tints, you can barely see that, she's waiting there, a pale-looking woman with red hair. I don't know if you noticed the eyes from outside, but...
Yeah.
You can...
I think...
You can tell she's got eyes that are slightly
not
brighter,
yet,
but you can't tell.
Yeah,
you can't. But you can. I mean, from a distance, you
I'm
can
not
even
that
still
close.
see.
I'm not that close. That's the thing. I wouldn't tell.
No, you can't tell that they're special. You can just
there.
tell she's maybe got interesting eyes.
That's the thing. You don't park there. If you arrive early, you park somewhere across the street to see who approaches and who doesn't. You don't immediately.
Is that how Maddie? I don't know if that's Maddie's style. Maddie's style.
Not really Maddie's style.
No, that's mine. That's what Dante would.
Okay, gotcha. So Maddie's car is right in front of the blockbuster. Not Blockbuster. That doesn't exist. It does exist, but it's a Blockbuster.
The parking lot. Yeah. Is it crowded around?
Oh god, no. Completely empty. Yeah. There's a couple of sort of
Lovely.
teenagers nearby, but the second they see the car pull up, they scatter.
Right, and I just wait there.
Yeah, Dante will just. He won't immediately leave the car. He'll just look at her a few seconds.
So you do see as they step out of the car, you see Dante, sort of a middle-aged. You're sort of middle-aged.
I'm not middle-aged.
Middle-aged. You're
Why am I
30. You're
middle-aged?
30 to 40.
29.
You're 30
That's
to
not
40.
mid-
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's middle-aged, I guess.
Sort of worn out looking, but rather strangely imposing looking man with sideburns that come up to just beneath his chin and a bit of an imposing presence. The thing that strikes you immediately, though, is the gigantic woman that accompanies him.
Yeah.
Pure muscle, built like a brick shithouse, and walking beside Dante.
Yeah. I wait for them to get a little closer.
Yeah, Dante
before
will
I
put
get
a
out
cigarette
of
in
the
his
car.
mouth immediately as he steps out of a car.
Yeah. And by the time they get a little closer, Maddie steps out of a car, and in her left hand, with her left hand, she's leaning on a wooden cane, and in her right hand is a sawn-off shotgun, which she is aiming straight at Nahia. As she says,
Openly aiming it, just
openly aiming it right there.
You-
She says,
you
Sorry.
"Stay
Yeah.
right there."
It's just
Or the lady
casually
gets
pointed
it.
though. It's like just not. It's not a threatening pointing, or is it a threatening pointing? How are you pointing?
It's
it?
a threatening.
Oh,
point.
okay, right,
Yeah.
okay.
So Dante still calmly smokes his cigarette. Says, "Sorry, you mind if I finish this first?"
You go ahead. You
And he just
stay
smokes and looks you right in the eyes as he stays right there and smokes.
Yeah, she's not aiming for Dante. She's aiming for
I know.
Nahia. Yeah.
Nahia's sort of, by the way, standing there, and she looks at the shotgun to you, and there's just sort of like a raised eyebrow, like, you really think that's gonna stop me?
Look, I told him I need some time to get the fucking statue. There's no need to send his bloody lackeys after me.
Oh, that's what you think is happening. I see. He throws a cigarette down, takes out another cigarette, puts it in his mouth, inhales, it lights up. He keeps smoking.
You know this thing's kill, right?
I hope so.
Right.
You know, those things do as well. He nods towards the shotgun.
That's the idea.
Yeah. I like you.
So you can go back to him. Tell him I'm just taking the time I need. It's the most well guarded, most best guarded safe I've ever seen in there.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little more time.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what he's like, though, right?
Of course I fucking know what he's like.
What's your impression of the man?
He's a fucking cunt.
But
He's demanding. He pulls you in with false promises, and then he just leaves you by the side while the fucking demands get worse and worse.
Dante sort of looks at Nahia and says, "Don't you think his name is stupid too? Like, I always thought his name was fucking stupid."
I don't know what we're talking about.
Dante winks with the other eye.
Yeah.
With the eye that's away from Maddie.
She sort of nods and goes, yeah, really stupid.
I mean, why would you promise about town with a name like that?
It's false advertising, if you ask me.
Right? What's your impression of the other lackeys, the ones you met?
Are we talking about Ned?
No, we're not talking about bloody
Dante doesn't react to that. Dante doesn't react as somebody doesn't hit. Like, he just keeps smoking.
Yeah. His other lackeys, well, I mean, they're not as bad as him, but they certainly are.
Who have you met? I mean, you think
Romance.
we're his lackeys. So he didn't send the previous ones you met.
Obviously.
You think he sent us. So therefore,
Yes.
we might be worse. Who have you met this far? I'm just curious.
I know who you are, Coleman. I know.
Do you?
Why do you think I'm pointing this thing at her instead of you?
Well then,
You're just going to Matrix Dutch the bloody shot.
you know I can take a step, but
Yeah.
that little parlor trick notwithstanding,
Hmm.
I'm not here on behalf of Grace.
Prove it.
Okay? What do you need me to prove?
Give me anything that can convince me. As far as I know, I've heard plenty of stories of you and your little friends going around doing this little dirty work. And, well,
That's true.
apparently
We are
I'm
doing his
next
little
on the
dirty
list.
work, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not going to justify myself. What I'll say is I'm not here on behalf of Grace. I'm here on behalf of a young man in prison.
Right. Knows she? Maddie nods at Nahia.
She has the same interest as me.
Maddie looks Nahia straight in the eyes.
How did he
Yeah.
hire you? Sorry.
She just says yeah. She just says yeah and
No.
tries to look
Yeah.
and looks more imposing. Just does it tenses and two of
How
her
did he
biceps
hire
pop.
you?
How what?
How did he hire you? Come to you in person?
Yeah. Came
Did
to
he?
me, well, invite me over for a nice dinner. Looks all, how fancy and well, promising he can look. And then jobs were simple. Just break into this place, steal this thing. Just, And eventually the tasks got a little more shadier.
Dante just closes his eyes for a second. He's thinking. Then he opens his eyes again and says, he must have promised you something in exchange. Was it a one-time job, or was he expecting you to perform for him regularly?
Well, first it was just money. But then eventually when I said no, he wanted me to keep working for him. And he started, well, I technically can't prove it's him, but accidents started to happen to people I
So just
liked.
out of interest, to people you work with?
Yeah. Well, not work with on his part. Just, other colleagues.
Bastard.
She's starting to lower the son off slightly, kind
So
of
just
more
out of interest.
casually aiming it.
Very
at me.
generous.
Who the
Yeah.
hell did you talk to that told you that it's no use aiming at me?
Well, work goes around.
Does it?
Plenty of people have seen, well, your little group in action.
They tell you anything else? The things we've done?
Sure. I mean, we all know about Ned and his golden touch.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And, well, then
Look,
there's
I was hoping you'd help me get to a guy in prison.
I could.
Why'd you refuse Elijah's commission? Because of Grace?
Yeah, I was supposed to be working for his thing, and he's very peculiar about time, just
That
about
makes
his
no
schedule.
sense. How does that make sense?
I don't know. He just wanted me to steal a statue's head. As if I'm
No.
some kind of Bart Simpson.
He knew you weren't going to. He knew you wouldn't manage.
Yeah. So,
Fuck.
can you blame me for being a little defensive here?
Blame you? No, I'm impressed. Most people don't point a shotgun at me as a matter of greeting.
Right. So, freaking
So I
someone.
guess Sorry.
Right. I mean, I could help you, but I've been. Look, it's become very clear to me that you can't just break off ties with Mr. Grace.
Dante stands there,
If he doesn't want you to, you can't.
just taps his foot a little bit, smokes, looks at Nahia, says, "Still want to go on?"
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. You're at an impasse. You don't want to work for him, but you have to work for him. I know
Right.
how that feels because I'm pretty much in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he promised you?
Doesn't matter.
Really?
Everything.
Does it? I don't think you would be here if it didn't matter.
Fine. I don't care to tell you what he promised me.
Alright. I get it.
I've made the mistake of making him spell it out when we first met.
Yeah. Right. So...
We are planning on speaking with Daniel Harberman. Now, we can't bully our way past the prison guards and make him come to a meeting. I was wondering if somebody of your talents knows anyone who could maybe be jailed for a day or three, secure a meeting with him, have a conversation, and get back to us.
I don't think I know anyone who could secure a meeting, but... You know... Prison security is so dependent on automatic fail-safes these days.
Really?
Right, before you know it, there's a little bug in the power, a little crack in the security, and anyone could just walk in or out.
So, maybe that is what needs to happen. All right.
Perhaps you can tell from experience that that prison in Ullmanoch isn't fun.
Dante just winces slightly at that and says, "Then here's my offer to you. I don't know how many other groups like us Grace has running around doing his bidding. I have no idea. But you work with us, and we're going to work towards improving our own condition. Figuring out how to cut the leash."
At this point, she's no longer aiming the gun, just kind of hanging it next to her as she leans on her.
Nahia sort of slightly relaxes her biceps a little bit.
Right. I suppose. So, what's the plan? Because I'm still expected to get that statue's head.
For Grace.
Right? He just told me to get it out of security and yeah, keep it until it's picked up.
So who the fuck hired Fear?
As you say that,
Yeah.
across the town, Ned Halford, your phone goes off for a little while, but it cuts silent before you are able to get to it. The number written across it is an unknown number. You are in your house. It's been a day since you trashed it, and it's still a bit of a mess. Todd is, at the moment, swimming laps in the pool. What do you do?
Well, I order a cleaning lady to show up and clean the house.
Okay. You
Like a maid
yeah.
service.
You do that. It goes through pretty quickly, and a very sort of in a quick amount of time, there's a woman turns up to your house who begins to start cleaning. And the second she sees the house, by the way, she goes like, "No, no," and turns to leave. And you have to sort of hurry her back inside again before she sort of glaring at you starts to work slowly. But she's not impressed with the way you have left this place.
Well then, I also call back the number that I.
Okay. You call back the number on the burner phone, and Nahia, being Nahia, didn't put it on private number. So it there's a buzzing in her pocket as you and Maddie are talking. Nahia sort of looks to you, Dante, and goes, "Oh, sorry, one second. Hello?"
Hi, you sound a bit off today, and this is a weird number.
So you guys are as Dante and you and Maddie are talking, Nahia takes out the phone, says and goes hello, and she goes, "Ned!"
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, I'm not meant to call you.
Can I say something at this point?
Yeah,
Can
what
I
do
say
you?
something at this
Yeah,
point?
you can. You definitely have said.
Dante will just do his fingers like in a round motion as in keep talking. Get out a notepad and just say secure a meeting with the asshole and just show it to her.
Dante's saying something to me, but I think we're meant to meet.
Well, I think the best place for us to meet is the Fight Club tomorrow.
The fight club. By the way, that's in 2 weeks. That's not tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you say it was in like a few days?
No,
before?
2 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Never mind. So I don't say that. Kidding. I remember that it is in 2 weeks. I say, what, secure a meeting with me? You can just show up to my house.
I know, but I'm being told to. What if we
give
met?
the phone to the guy.
She holds out the phone towards you, Dante.
I just shake my head.
He doesn't want to talk to you.
Okay, then.
I think you've upset him.
Tell him to send a letter via carrier pigeon if he wants to do this.
I'm not gonna tell him that. No.
Okay,
Listen. I'm sorry, but we need to sort this out now. We need to get going now. Like, Daniel is in prison.
I thought he was still being processed. What happened?
Ned, please.
Okay. No more jokes. Where should I go?
Where should we meet?
Dante
I'm
just
ready.
writes down any random place that he knows in town. Any random place.
Can you give me an area? What kind of area?
Yeah, Russet Way
Way.
near to
A flower shop.
Near to Candle Street, Russet Way, like that type of, so that we can be there, all of us, in
Okay.
20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a pretty grimy sort of diner. She puts the phone to her ear and tells you the name of the diner, gives you the address, and says, "All right, we'll see you soon." Oh, Kensington says, "Say hi to Todd."
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Have you heard?
Kingston,
what was the name? Have any of you heard from the Gillian Gale back, or at all, or no?
Gideon, no idea. Sorry, say that name. Say that again.
Oh yeah, you forgot the. Never mind. I've got it. I hang up and I call
Okay.
Pedro to pick me up and take me there in 20 minutes. I think is when we decided to meet up, right?
Okay, I pick you up. Okay.
Thank you.
Pedro comes round and
Been a
picks you
while
up in
since
the
Pedro's
limo.
been in an episode.
Yeah, Maddie and Dante, you watch as Nahia closes the phone and puts it into her pocket again.
It's not me being upset with him. I didn't want to be named on the phone call for that ship aside.
Sorry, just I'm not used to this whole thing.
Bit of interpersonal conflict going on here that I should know about.
Dante doesn't
All right.
say anything. Just,
No,
let's drive.
no need to tell. No need to tell me. I'm doing this. I'm like holding my hands up here, but she's got both of her hands full. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Dante turns to Maddie and says, I'm going to drive with you.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm expected in this group meeting.
Yeah.
Will,
Unless you want to skip it.
Oh no.
My offer
Sure.
was sincere.
Oh, I mean, honestly, it's the best opportunity I've had so far to piss the old man off. So, sure.
All right.
Okay. You step into Maddie's car. What is the interior of your car like? What condition is it in?
It's very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Very leather seats. There's an unhealthy looking amount of empty energy drink cans on the back couch. And yeah, she just gets ready, puts on a seatbelt, and revs the engine
Okay.
before going.
You climb
I don't
right-
mention any of it, obviously. I don't smoke inside either.
Yeah, that's good because it doesn't smell like cigarettes inside. It smells pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say pretty clean, but it smells a bit sour from the energy drinks.
You roar. Maddie doesn't drive slow. Maddie doesn't know how to drive slow. Maddie drives fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you watch Nahia is struggling to keep up in her little car coming behind you guys. For a couple of minutes she loses you, but eventually finds you again as you weave your way through the streets. It is now getting very dark in the city by the time you arrive at the diner. You step in and take your seats and wait for Ned Halford, who arrives shortly afterwards. As he's stepping through the door, across the street, the old man called Niles is very close to you, Elizabeth. His hands are tensed, and he's watching you. What do you do?
I sent you a little message.
Did you? Let me see. Yeah, go for it. You don't have to.
Right. While they're standing on this cliff, him coming closer, I'm gonna have a flashback.
What to?
So we go back only like a few years. Maybe 3 tops. Elizabeth doesn't really look that different. But she's standing on the side of a ferry boat. And something she has, well, no one has ever seen her do before, at least not in the group, is that she's leaning over the side and smoking. She lets out a puff as she looks at the similar night sky as at modern times, and looks at the cigarette for a second in her hands. She takes one last drag and plops it into the ocean below.
Disappears
she-
beneath the surf. Just gone.
And as she kind of lets out that last drag, she sighs and she's looks up at the night sky. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't try to get closer to death. After all, look at what just happened. Someone needs to be there to punish those who needs to be punished if whatever is above us doesn't do it itself. Might as well be me, it seems. And she takes like the car keys that are in her hand, flips them around a few times as familiar lights of a city come into view.
And as the city stretches, the lights in your flashback overlap with the lights of the horizon of reality coming into being. As you flash back into the modern world, the sky is quite beautiful tonight. The clouds have dispersed, leaving the wide expanse of glittering stars glaring down at you. Without the lights of the city, they kind of combine with the city, making it seem like the city has just melted off the sky and collapsed onto the earth, the heavens made home on land. He steps towards you, and you know who he is now. He is fear. He has always been fear. And very slowly, he extends a hand towards you, and a thin red ribbon runs up his arm and snakes towards you. What are you doing?
I think of, well, him before me. Him as Fear, him as Niles, it doesn't really matter. Him before me. And I just see him as the killer that he is. And I think, well, done this one time before this time. Might as well try to see if the gods are on my side again. And I want to try to pass judgment on him.
Okay, so the ribbon snaking through his fingertips arcs towards the air towards you, and as it does, what is it you actually do? Like, how do you act?
I take a step back as I try to, well, see if I can pass judgment on him.
Okay, I'm gonna need... No, Okay, so first of all, he is going to... No, he'll allow you to do this. Give me a go toe-to-toe, please.
He'll allow me to do this.
Mm-hmm. What tags would you like to use here?
I don't really know.
Any
I guess
tags
I'll
for passing judgment or using your You're basically your magic against him, your powers against him.
Oh, all right. So not a reaction kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like I fought a sharp eye because like reactions. My God. But I don't know.
A sharp eye. I'll allow a sharp eye for this. Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
that kind of does,
Yeah, it
but
makes sense.
all right. I'm gonna roll then.
Okay. Okay,
mild
that's a
success.
mild success. Okay, what are you managing to? What are your choices? What are you choosing to do? So you get to choose one. You can either achieve your goal, get him good, inflict power damage to him, or block and dodge his best attempts.
I'm gonna do what's like most fitting in this scenario, which would not be to block his attempts, but I think would be to achieve my goal, which would kind of be a status, I guess. Like if I
Okay,
had
brilliant. What status would you like to give him?
um, judged by the divine.
Judged by the divine. I like it. Two. Okay. As you try to step back and you point your fingers at him and cast this, your pressure sort of takes hold, flowing through your body as it always does, and slamming into Niles. He staggers for a moment. Then his feet plant, one after the other. You hear a whisper through the air, and the whisper says, "The sinews of the mountain." He only takes one of your status rather than two. The ribbon, however, arcs forward and curls around your arm, and where it hits, it burns as it begins to wrap and tie and pull you closer and closer. You're going to take a status 4 restrained. I need you to make a face danger, please.
Does that 4 work against me?
It is going to work against you.
And I'm not gonna add any other tag since I don't know what this is, right?
Add any tags you have that avoid being trapped and argue them to me. So say what they are first. What tag you want to try and argue.
Honestly, I don't think I have any. So
Okay.
I'm not going to do that unless I got something from the flashback.
I will allow... Oof. From that flashback, I would definitely allow you to have made a roll from that. Give me the change of the game for that. Adding any tags you have that connect with your mythos that to specifically to the balance of things.
Right.
That is a great success. Right. You have a juice of 3. Spend your juice to create things that you can use for this face danger. You could reduce the status of 4 down to 1.
I could. I think my idea would be kind of similar, as in I could give myself a tag with 3 Jews, right?
Yeah, you could definitely give yourself a tag with 3. But it would have to. But if you gave it 3, it would be gone. If you gave it with 2 and used 1 to prolong it, it would last longer. But if you gave yourself 3, it would only last for one action.
Right, then I will then I will reduce the status right now with
Okay.
3 because yeah.
The ribbon starts to bind around you, and it is tighter and stronger than any chain or rope that has ever held you. You try to twist and pull against it, and for a moment it seems to hold and pull you in, and you go, no! You bind in close, and the darkness envelops, and for a second you manage to slip your hand out till only one arm is twisted around the ribbon, though it is still clawing at your arm. You are restrained 1 instead. You watch as Fear tightens his arm on the ribbon and goes, "Stop fighting. It's over." And he's going to tighten his fist. What are you doing?
We're close to a cliff.
Yep.
I want to try to make him heavy so that I can push him / he can fall off the cliff.
Okay, that's going to be another go toe-to-toe.
Yep.
Your restrained 1 is going to count against you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you try to act against him, he's going to use his action Gleipnir to, because you're already restrained 1, you're now restrained 2.
A mild success. God
That's
damn
a
it.
mild success. Okay, what one do you want to retrieve? That's a power of 3. Yep, which one do you want to retrieve?
Wait, I can divide, right? So no, I choose one. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Ugh, this is difficult. So sorry it takes longer.
It's alright.
I'm gonna counter their best attempts.
You're going to counter his best attempts. Right. He twists the ribbon and it seems to tighten around you. You jump backwards and sever it, and it drops to the ground. Once half of it lies flat on the ground, the other half of it flickers around his hand again, and at once he begins to start to extend it again. On the ground, the ribbon that you severed sort of flickers for a moment, then goes towards your leg and binds its way around your leg. Immediately you're going to take another 2 restrained as the ribbon starts to wrap around your legs. He flicks his hand and goes, "It is time." Throws it at you. What are you doing? Oh no, sorry. Actually, this time he is not going to. He's given up using the ribbon. He's going to try and strike you, which is he steps towards you. And as he steps towards you, a voice whispers through the air and goes, "The sinews of a bear," as he brings his fist towards you.
Right. Good thing that my next plan was to touch my feet to try to make myself lighter to bald out.
Okay. You're gonna try and run?
Yep.
Right, that is going... So you've
Or
got...
at least, like, get away.
You have a restrained of... Should be close to 3, 4 now even. You're on 3, I think it should be.
Is it? But yeah, I wasn't really following because you said, like, oh, you broke free and then you take another
Oh, no,
two,
the
so
restrained is continued. You so the restrained is... The restrained status is continued as the ribbon continues to so you should be on restrained 3 by now, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to make... What roll do you want to make this?
Don't ask me that. I know
I
jack
mean,
shit about
this could be a go toe-to-toe, or this could be take a risk.
I know nothing about City of Mist rolls. Why are you asking me?
Do you want to try go toe-to-toe, or do you want to try take the risk? I'm going to say this is... Okay, fine. I'm going to say this is taking a risk. You are now, at this point, the ribbons are wrapping around you, one around your feet. The other one is still in his hand. He's stepping towards you to punch you. And you are slowly getting coiled up. I need a take a risk, please. And you have a -3 for entangled.
Nah, fam, that's
Right.
not it.
With that, the ribbon on the ground, you try to tap your feet to feel lighter, and as you begin to rise, the ribbon wraps around you, grabs your feet, slips into the ground, and binds you. And as you feel it tighten, you hear a voice echoing over and over through the air, going, "The sound of a cat's footfall, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the breath of a fish, the spittle of a bird." Niall grabs you, and his fist slams into your face. You take a 5 bludgeoned, as the voice screams, "The sinews of a bear!" It is like being hit by a car. The weight and the strength of his fist makes your head ring backwards. And in the moment that they do, the ribbons have coiled around you. He holds you now, coiled up like a mummy in red ribbon, the last bit of it trailing off his hand. He pulls you slowly, slowly over the cliff. "I am terribly sorry. I am sure she will miss you, as I miss her." And he lets
Face
you
of a
go.
killer, right?
You say that?
I don't know if I can, boy.
You can. What are your... Well, Elizabeth Weiss, what are your last words?
Oh no, I said the face of a killer, right?
He smiles. A sad, terribly lonely smile. And lets you go. We cut back to the shady little... Actually, we're gonna have to take a break there. Sorry, guys.
That's fair. That's fair. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a quick break there.
Yeah. Time for some crisps.
Why you smell like Elizabeth was?
All right. Whew. Wait, I'm alone here. Oh no, I'm all alone. So anyways, Ryan, thank you for listening. Big fan of your films. I really liked Free Guy. It was fun. It was fun. Really fun. So yeah, just if you like the show, if you want to be part of it, just give us a call, and we'll see you there.
Fucking hell.
Woo!
Well, that was intense.
All right. Hello.
Well, that was intense.
Yeah, right? Holy fuck. Oh,
I hope. Oh, fuck's sake.
things heating up in there, by the way. Literally.
Oh my fucking heart! You have no idea how I was about to go get the heart monitor because I was worried about it for a second. But
Yeah. Mm. That was
yeah.
good. Mm. I'm curious what the diner is called, by the way.
The what?
I'm curious what the diner is called.
Oh god.
Yeah, I thought I'd ask you right now so that you don't have to come up with it during the game. I know how fucking annoying it can be when a player is like, so what's this place called? And you have no name prepared. You're like, yeah, I totally got that. Just looking through my notes right now.
I got the place.
Right,
There's
right.
some things I almost think you shouldn't prepare. Like, you can't prepare
Yeah.
every name of every place, but yeah.
Exactly, but it is still like one of those things I just dread as a GM because I totally get it, and I totally think places that people go to should have a name if it makes sense. But also,
Yeah.
it's a hassle to just like put everything aside real quick to come up with a name.
Names.
I'm back.
Am I right?
What's up? Are we all ready to do the
Yeah.
thing?
Syriinx, are you there?
Don't think so.
No, she remember she got thrown off a cliff
Yeah, but she's still there. Wait.
at the bottom.
Well, it was fun having Elizabeth around.
And she like falls into the ground. She's like, what a strange little orb next to me.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Back in the diner.
Which is called
Lily's place.
Lily's place. That's cute.
What are you guys doing? Ned has not arrived yet, but you're sitting around. The waitress has come over and gone, "Can I take your
So
order?"
can I like roll you back a little bit? I didn't go with Maddie and her car just to be in a nice car.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, gotcha.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I was
okay.
not being a twat.
Yeah,
So,
and
when
just
we're
so you know,
sitting
she's got some punk music on. It's very loud.
You'll be surprised to find out Dante's not put up by that at all.
Had a bad boy phase.
Face.
It never left.
Yeah, Dante just sits and says, "You know, you're pretty obvious." He just does the 2 fingers near his eyes.
I mean,
A lot of us aren't.
yeah, to the uninitiated or not.
Yeah. What do your eyes look like to them? You ever wonder that?
really asked, honestly. I just assume the way they used to look. Just green.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I guess my eyes were different too once.
Bit more life in them.
Oh, there's plenty of life in me. So much I can get rid of any fucking amount of it. Bit more joy in them, I suppose.
Just saying, you look tired.
Me?
No.
I could run a fucking marathon right now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
What do you think it looks like? The other end of this. Our obligation. What we do. What we're prompted to do by this manipulator.
Well, by the looks of it, it's currently all focused on those statues.
No, it's beyond that.
Obviously,
Way beyond
but I don't know what the statues have to do with it. Well, I noticed that, hey, if we keep on going with those statues, then who knows what we'll find.
Can I take your order?
Oh. Wait, this
Oh
is
shit!
still in the
Fuck.
car.
We're still, yeah, yeah.
Whoa!
The woman puts her fucking head through the window. Can I take your order?
Beginning of the energy.
She's just hopping through the back window. Yeah.
Yeah. Dante will just say, "What do you know about the owner of the statues?"
Oh, I have to disappoint you there. Don't know anything really. Just whoever made them, some vandal really had it in for them.
It's funny though, isn't it? They're all destroyed in the exact same manner.
Are they? Just the head remaining?
Head remaining, gravel everywhere.
Right.
And
Hey,
then there's the owner.
The
A
owner?
man Mr. Grace really, 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 really wanted to put in my sight.
And who would that be?
We'll get there.
Sure we will. So, you work at the university, right?
I guess you found out plenty about me.
Or
maybe just the bare facts.
Just the bare facts, honestly.
Yeah.
When you probably know as well as I do that when you feel hunted by someone, you try to find out some things to make sure you won't be found. But you got any experience with the archives? Ever been there?
Honestly, mate, the only reason I'm at that fucking place is because they have seats. And I can put my student artists on them and teach them something. If I could do it in an old Greek amphitheater, I would.
Who wouldn't? But I think you're in for a surprise then. That place, let's just say it's not normal.
Nothing in Ullmanoch is, it seems.
Yeah. So it would seem. I thought that place would just be, I don't know, just a little safe somewhere behind the desk. But apparently, we've got all sorts of fun little magical surprises.
Can we say that that's when we probably approach the diner?
Okay.
And as we go out, I'll take out the the burner. I'll call Elizabeth again because it's weird that she's not answering.
Okay.
Dante can see Maddie puts a sawn-off shotgun in a green duffel bag, kind of. Looks kind of like something you'd see used in the army.
Okay.
A while
Yeah,
ago.
I gotcha.
Yeah. She just takes that with her.
Elizabeth's phone goes to answer phone. I'm probably Elizabeth doesn't seem like the person who would have an answering a voicemail like recording, so I'm just gonna say it goes to the other recording. Yeah, doesn't answer.
Yeah,
So
obviously I'm not
wrong.
going to leave message because I'm calling from a burner. There's no point leaving a message, right?
Yeah.
As you step into the diner, it is a pretty grungy place. Though it has some cuteness to it. Some pictures across the walls. Mementos of a time when this place was maybe a bit more popular. When Russet Way wasn't quite the place it is now. When the city was smaller, maybe. Or maybe further back from that, you're not quite sure. There's various black and white photos, probably the owner's relatives going back many, many years. Couple of unknown celebrities who've signed pictures, who maybe are from a soap show you might have seen, you're not certain. Probably not famous at all. And there's the sort of faint sort of sizzling cooking smell of something that might be okay for eating. The waitress comes up and she's the only waitress of this place. Sort of a 30s woman, looking a bit ragged and tired from her days. She goes to say, "Can I take your order?" and sort of shivers as if she can't say that for some reason, and goes, "All right, loves, what'll it be?"
Dante just raises his open palm hand up as if to say ladies first towards Nahia and Maddie.
What are your dessert options?
Well, we've got a tiramisu, but it's not made by us. It's bought in. We've got lovely brownies. They're homemade. Plate of cookies. They're really good. We've got a lovely. It's the all you can eat, but it's called the Everest. It's brownies with ice cream with what's it called, baked Alaska in the middle. Nobody can eat it on their own though.
I'll have the Everest and a pint.
You sure, darling? You're a bit small.
So?
She sort of looks over to Nahia and sort of looks back and goes, "Well, I'm sure you'll have help with it. One Everest, and for you, dear." Nahia just goes, I'll have an Everest too.
Don't forget the pint.
2 Everests. All right. Couple of pints, and you, sir?
Tea black. No sugar.
All right. Bitter tea. Okay. She flips the thing closed and slips off behind to go and get your order ready. Whilst you're waiting, a black limousine pulls up and the door slides open. The door is open for him as Ned Halford steps out.
Yeah, you see the door swing open with bravado as the man enters into the diner. Is Lily's place, right?
Sir, you want me to wait?
Oh no, thank you. I think I'll be taking. I think I'll be here a while.
Okay. Okay. Pedro climbs back into the limo and drives off.
Thank you. Thumbs up, and he turns back around and he says, "Fellas, it's been too long. What's the mystery?" And he walks over to the table.
Dante's not looking at him at all. Like he doesn't even acknowledge the cunt exists.
Nahia looks up and smiles at you, and you see there is a strange woman sitting with the rest of the group.
Maddie is currently leaning back. It's got her rather large black leather boots on the table. She nods at Ned.
Are they okay? Where are y'all sitting at the bar?
They're all sitting in a booth. It's like a diner. Not too
Okay.
dissimilar from the one you turned to gold.
Nice. Round 2. So I sit next to Maddie and I raise one.
I already sit next.
Okay, I sit in front of Maddie. Raise one eyebrow very slowly and try and lean farther back and put my feet up higher on the table than Maddie.
You
And
guys really shouldn't do that.
Don't you have like a hole in your soul?
In
That
my
you
sock,
used
but
before
it,
in the
In his
oh, in
sock,
your sock.
but yeah.
yeah, and you can take off
okay.
your shoe. You don't know
You have to
that.
take
You know
off the
my
shoe.
secret weapon.
No, I don't know this in character, but just it's okay.
My
So you
secret
don't
weapon.
have hole in your shoe. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Who said you guys really shouldn't do that?
Nahia.
Oh.
oh,
No response from Maddie.
I look over at Maddie and like, so, introduce yourself.
Maddie Nealon.
Maddie.
More.
Hmm?
More.
No, I'm pretty sure your name is Ned.
Oh, you must have seen me on the TV. Well,
I don't really watch TV.
The awkward silence, sort of. The awkward stretches
Here's the thing.
as the
Here's
woman.
the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing a sulk.
No. I know you're not throwing a sulk on.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm smoking like he's not there.
Yeah,
We're
no,
just
don't worry.
sitting there.
We got that, but the silence is definitely a palpable one. As the woman comes, you watch as the waitress comes back, places the beers in front of you, and then comes back shortly afterwards, like sagging under the weight of this plate, which is brownies on top of ice cream on top of baked Alaska that has got several like sprinklers, not sprinklers, what are they called?
Sprinkles?
Well, there's those fizzing things. Sparklers fizzing off them.
Yeah.
And she goes, "One Everest for you, and one Everest for you, dear." And what would you like, sir? I know you. You're from the telly.
No, he isn't.
Oh, sorry, my
Well.
mistake. What would you like, sir?
well, what's what they're having called?
That's the Everest, but we're running really low on brownie mixture, so...
Okay. I'll have one singular brownie.
Oh. All right.
Is that
Okay.
possible?
The woman looks like she is going to tell this story of the weirdos who ordered this weird selection of food for probably the next 2 to 3 years. As she goes and writes it down, goes, lovely. If you need
Put the
anything, just
sparkles
at
in
all,
it.
just holler. It's Marge. And she smiles and walks off. And you can see her sort of like looking to the other, like the person tending the bar, and just going.
Okay.
Oh, let's fucking
Did my
do
tea
this.
arrive, by the way, or is my tea lost?
Your tea is last to arrive.
Motherfucker. Imagine that.
I peek my head over the Everest Mountain brownies, and I look at Maddie, and I just reach over it and put my hand out to shake her hand.
Maddie does not shake the hand. She, as she kind of says, "It's a pleasure." Picks up. I assume this thing came with a fork and a spoon.
It
or
comes with a
something.
fork.
A fork. Yeah. All right.
It's
It comes
quite a
with a
daunting To imagine this properly, it's quite a daunting. This is the sort of meal that's been designed for 4 or 5 people at the end of a day, and there's 2 of them here. Nahia is already just diving into hers.
Yeah.
Bits of ice cream and brownie covering her face as she munches away at it. And sort of halfway through, she sort of stops and goes like, "Oh crap, calories." And sort of slowly pushes it away. But yeah,
Maddie's
You have
just
to
got
keep
a
eating for
big grin
calories.
on her face as she starts eating it. She's loving this.
yeah.
Oh, this is a fucking lifesaver.
Lily's place is known for not much. But whoever this person is that now runs it, probably not called Lily, they're good at making brownies. And though the baked Alaska isn't amazing, the brownies are soft and warm and with little bits of melted chocolate inside, and it just melts in your mouth as you just plow your way through it.
I'm gonna be doing while they're doing all this bullshit. I'm gonna be doing pretty much the same thing that I've done a couple of episodes ago. I'm gonna be on my burner, just calling Elizabeth.
Your phone rings.
After my, I mean, yeah, I know I won't get an answer. Same old story. So, yeah, this is fucking worrying. Last time. After my tea arrives, Dante will just, again, like, regard the surface of it and then say, Daniel Harbman. We're his only fucking hope. All of us here. Harbman was induced by Alex Piper, who in turn was being controlled by Espelimule to murder Amy Northwell in the Wicker House. Chief question there is, which one of them they wanted? Did they want Amy dead, or did they want Harbman behind bars, or did they want both?
If you don't mind me interjecting, shouldn't we wait for the other 2?
What other 2?
Elizabeth and Jasmine?
Dante looks at Maddie and says, Jasmine's MIA.
Oh,
Elizabeth isn't answering. I'll tell her everything on my own.
right, then I haven't said anything.
Daniel Harbman is
I
currently
just want to
involved.
say, I'm sorry. I just want to say Ned slides like a small notebook, like a very small journal type of thing.
This is the first time Dante will pay attention to you, and without turning to you and say, write none of this down.
No. It's closed.
Yeah, but he'll still see the notebook.
Oh, okay. Well, he takes it out, puts it on the table, slides it across, and he says, "There's names in here." And I want to. Can I, Badger? Will you let me just just say that all the names that the big celebrities that I've heard, and all the names that the guy, this greasy man I called. Yeah, are blessed. I put his name and his phone number. I put the members of the yacht club, which yacht club they're in.
Yeah, gotcha.
And shit like that, and just like the big names.
Gotcha. There's a long list of names there.
I don't look at the list of names yet because I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know if it's.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right? No, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
And Dante will just say, "There is a case in court against Daniel Harbman right now. We have one witness, one who can absolve him. That witness is Alex Piper." Again, without looking at Ned, he just says, "That's why you're here."
Merci. Maddie says with her mouth just stuffed.
The metaphorical basement of my house.
You need to keep him safe, Halford. I don't give a fuck what it costs you. You keep that person safe. You keep him encased in gold until we figure out how to help him. Until we figure out how to bring him back.
He's not going anywhere.
It better not be. Next, we need a meeting with Piper. That's why Maddie's here. No, with Harborman. That's why Maddie is here. She can help us get to him. Have a heart to heart. Currently, even Hobman's solicitor cannot gain access to speak to him. Now that's illegal, but who gives a fuck, right? It's not like it's going to be reported.
Right, speaking of which, my way of talking to him isn't going to be very legal either.
As I said, who gives a fuck?
Good.
A break-in? To a prison?
A break-in?
Right.
Perhaps a bust out?
Next. The person who owns these statues is directly interested in the outcome of Daniel Harbin's case.
How did you figure that one out?
I can't tell you that.
Sure.
Suffice to say that I've spoken to Hobman's solicitor, and Hobman's solicitor has been looking into this person and that's how I found you, in fact. The break-in at the university that he wanted to commission, that you eventually started carrying it out.
Right. Yeah.
The con man.
That one was unfortunately cut short.
The only way we help Harborman is by unorthodox means. They can't win in court because you can assume that everybody there is bought and paid for. So, the only way to do something is present something entirely irrefutable or make a fucking spectacle of the whole thing.
Alright.
We need Piper for that. As far as statues go, we still haven't visited the museum. We still haven't visited Kingstown.
Quick question to the GM. The museum, what kind of museum is it? Is it art? Is it history?
It is a history museum.
Oh. Alright.
The other
I
thing
mean,
is, we met a man by the name of Midas Fear. You ever hear of him?
Have I?
There's no memory check for this. I'm gonna say. Roll me a percentage dice. I want you to roll higher than 60%, please.
Alright, here we go. 75.
Right. Okay. You have spent not a lot of time. You're in a different position from the rest of the group because your entry into this world was a different kind of entry. Wasn't a more gentle, but it was definitely a different point of entry. And you've experienced some different things about this world as you've found your way through it. And you have heard this name. You haven't heard the Midas in front of it, you've heard the fear. And you've heard it spoken with reverence by several people. Tommy is one of them. Thomas, sorry. It is spoken as if he was the very best of the hunters, the sort of the bounty hunters, the killers, the assassins, the sort of not adventurers, but the person you turn to for help. He was many things from what you can tell, but the thing that kept coming up was he was a legend. He was just the best at what he did.
Right.
and that's all you know from him. His name is spoken in like hushed whispers. All the people like Thomas want to be like him.
I've heard of him. Yeah. So what about him?
It was strange. It was strange because he wanted access to the vault too. That's why he contacted us. He wanted to go there. He has an employer. He says he's a bounty hunter, which is not a word that I'm accustomed to just yet.
Right.
So who the fuck hired Fear? For what purpose?
Well, it wasn't Grace. I mean, Grace already got me looking into that.
No. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense because if you could have found out about me and Elizabeth and Jasmine, so could he, and he didn't know Elizabeth's name. So it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of, where are they?
Where or who?
Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth. No responding.
I said this in character, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Dante's just like holding
As
the
you
bridge
say,
of his...
silence across the table.
Yeah.
Maddie just continues eating
Yeah.
and shrugs.
Dante's like holding the bridge of his nose, rubbing his eyebrow basically. It's just because it makes no sense. Yeah.
What?
Not here. How old did you say Midas Fear was?
I call Elizabeth while they're doing their thing.
You call her. Number goes to nothing. As for you, Maddie, you don't know. Like there's no mention of Midas's age.
No,
but
Nahia.
No,
I asked
Nahia?
Nahia.
She
Midas
goes,
Fear. How old did he look?
About
About my
early
age,
30s?
maybe even younger?
Younger, yeah. Maybe.
So, here's the thing.
Doesn't make sense. He's...
Yeah. If he was in his early 30s. See, Lucia and Esper, they shared time. They were both in their late 20s, early 30s. So combined, that's about 60 years of life.
Yeah.
Red Knuckle, he was about 60. Joseph, Jasmine's father, he must have been around 50 plus because Jasmine was early 30s, like 20s. So Fear would have been a fucking toddler when he put them together.
The man we met was in his 30s. He couldn't possibly have been that age.
Unless he has some sort of anti-aging deal as well.
Right. I don't think it's unheard of for people like us to not look their age.
Yeah. Fuck. We're missing something. What did he want there? He didn't know about the room upstairs in the university. He didn't know about the statue. We're missing something. Who the fuck hired him? Why? Why was Esper warning us about him?
I don't know.
Hold on. Who is this? Esther?
Doesn't matter anymore.
Sure.
She was
You should try this,
someone-
by the way. It's great.
You look over and you've only just noticed that like 90% of Maddie's Everest is gone. And she is not slowing down at all.
Where in the fuck is my singular bracket with multiple sprinklers in it?
You look around and the waitress still has not returned with it, and very slowly sort of Nahia like pushes what remains of her Everest over to you. She just sort of mumbles something about Coach not forgiving her for eating this much sugar.
Oh, so, well, thank you. And I bite in. I pick up a brownie, bite into it, and it turns to gold, and I'm like, Can I just say, as they were doing this, I'm just repeatedly calling and hearing like the beep of no answer, or that this number doesn't exist, or whatever. I'm just repeatedly calling, not
Just
stopping.
not answering. Okay, if you're gonna have to go, then Elizabeth, I'm gonna have to do, right. I'm gonna have to do something very quickly. So, as, can you hear me, by the way, Syriinx?
Yeah, but I'm not leaving yet. You don't
Okay.
have to do something quickly. I said 30 minutes.
Okay, I'll give you 30 minutes. Then tell me when you're about to leave, and we'll go. Okay. Go on, guys.
Right. Right, so... I mean... I'm still...
You're on a clock, right? Dante just turns to Matt. He says, "You're on a clock, right?"
Right, I'm expected to pick up that statue's head as soon as possible, and by the looks of it, I was hoping to find a certain Professor Dustin to help me out with some explosives, but he's not been very helpful. Do you happen to know him?
Do I happen to know him, Dante?
You know of
Is he
Dustin.
one-
Everyone knows of Dustin. Professor Dustin is a disgraced professor who used to be a professor of chemistry, accidentally blew up one of his lecture halls, very badly injured himself and one teaching assistant. But due to a very complex level of sort of like reasons that no one quite understands how it works, he was unable to be dropped by the university. He continues to come in occasionally, teach lectures, though the university has scrubbed all mention of his classes, so he has almost no students. And he's pretty much considered to be insane.
Okay. So when did this happen?
Oh, this happened like years ago, like before your time of arrival. He's still known as like this sort of legendarily crazy guy that still
but here's the
functions in
thing,
university. Yeah.
Dante doesn't trust rumors around the
Yeah.
university because he knows what they're like.
Oh yeah, but that is what the rumor is. I'm not telling you whether you
Yep.
believe it or not. I'm just saying that's what the rumor is. That he's crazy. He blew up his lecture hall, almost killed one teaching assistant, and that he's been scrubbed from the records. He is still in the university though, and you have seen him around, and he's a pretty normal looking guy, sort of slightly pudgy.
He's still teaching.
Oh yeah.
So is he part of the faculty that, like, is he...
Definitely
So
not the
then I
faculty
don't
that distances from
Okay.
you. No, he's the same as you in the fact that the faculty sort of kind of keeps their apart from him, and he's regarded as like he's completely.
I mean,
ignored
I
and-
keep apart from them.
Yeah, he's the same.
But yeah.
He sort of comes in
Dante-
occasionally for lessons, and
Dante just slowly nods. I don't know him personally.
Well, that, however,
I know
was
of
the
him.
plan when I was still planning on doing it myself. See, the thing is, the door itself, it's thick, but not impenetrable. I could break through given the time. But there's these two bloody statues. One of these, a knight, and I believe the other was a wolf.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. They showed up, attacked me out of nowhere. I had to leave because, well, I couldn't just break that door open while being wailed on by a bunch of things. It's difficult to describe. Not necessarily as physical, the knight. The blade didn't necessarily cut my flesh, if you would know what I mean.
Right.
However, what's your deal? Letty asks Nahia. You some kind of got some kind of Hulk strength or something?
I play rugby.
Hey, look the part.
Thanks.
So, what's your deal?
She sort of looks at Dante and Ned sort of nervously and goes, I'm really strong and I can break things.
Great, lovely. Right. Well, all we need is some people to distract the security, if we can call it that, and
Wait,
I'll focus on the door.
So
Alright.
distracting.
wait.
Yeah.
Grace, you want a specific statue?
Specifically the head of the statue that was destroyed in the university. He doesn't want
Oh.
he didn't say anything of where to deliver it to. Just break into, well, the
I
archives
see.
apparently, get the head and await instructions.
I see.
We're gonna leave you guys there because I remember just being aware of time. The camera is gonna leave you in the diner there, drifting out over the city, rising high above the dark land and the dark sea where the two meld and meet, the light being the only separating factor. There is a man they call Fear. He has killed and burned his way through time. He has done whatever he needed to do to get to where he is now. There was a man they called Fear, who loved and lost and made his way without any mercy along his path. He made friends. He had a purpose at one point, and that purpose is long gone. There is a man they call Fear, and he is standing on the cliff face as he watches the girl tumble out of sight. As he releases her, his fingers sort of thwinging off the last of the ribbons as she falls into the darkness. He is so terribly, unbearably alone. In that moment, the silence of her fall and the silence of him standing there are terribly crushing. But he cannot bear it any longer. There is a man they call Fear. And as he opens his door and steps into his car and begins his drive back home, he is driving back home to no one and nothing. Syriinx, are you there? No, right. We're going to take a very quick break while Syriinx gets back. Oh, no, she is there. She is there. We'll give her 5 minutes, okay? Quick 5-minute break.
She says she can hear us. She can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Numpty.
He already left. Man's is
Too
gone.
late. Ooh, I'm really liking this session, you guys. Well, that'll give me some time to get some drink.
Yeah, same.
So, how was your day? Oh yeah, no one's here. Forgot. Yes, it's the halftime show. Me.
Are you there, Syriinx?
If you listened during this halftime show and for some reason Matt didn't put out the break,
I always
Coleman,
listen to the
Yeah.
half-rhyme shows.
yeah. If you are an audience member who listens to the halftime shows, type in the code.
Yeah, just
So guys,
go to
a quick word
squarespace.com.
from our fans, from our sponsors, Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, use code Ullmanoch to get like
use code Dead Girl.
50 extra fucking silver.
Can you stop?
Where is Syriinx? There she is.
Oh,
Okay,
hey.
right. Are you ready, Elizabeth?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. As you tumble through darkness over the edge of the cliff, nothing but air around you. The ribbons tight and constraining. What are your thoughts?
I guess disappointment would be first, but also kind of relief, quickly followed by relief about not being able to, quote unquote, do her job. But I think all of that will very quickly fade away to just the thought and the image of Allison.
The last thing you see is her face. Before your eyes, beautiful and perfect. Not perfect in the way that there's nothing wrong, no, perfect in the other way. Perfect in the way that there is things wrong, but that just makes it even more perfect. You hit the water, and it is like slamming into a concrete floor. The breath goes out of you in a great ah! And you are surrounded by cold, all-consuming water and darkness. You drift down deeper and deeper. Your breath is gone. Already bubbles are bubbling out of your mouth towards the surface as the light grows dimmer and dimmer. The moon above you. As you drift deeper into the water, something blue flitters across your skin. A faint light. Something you took a long time ago. And as the features of Allison stay strong in your mind, your vision begins to darken and darken and darken. You are standing in a long hall, great columns on either side. A black dog sits opposite you, and there is a set of very old-fashioned weighing scales. The sort of thing you might stand on to weigh your weight in maybe the 1980s or late or earlier. The dog has something in its mouth, a glistening red, throbbing thing. It looks at you with friendly and inviting eyes, and you know what it is going to do. Very slowly, it places your heart on the scales. What do?
So you're the thing that was following in my shadows.
No, not quite like that, the dog says, his head turning ever so slightly to the side. I've been watching, but not invading, I promise.
Wouldn't really call all of that just watching.
He reaches out, sort of goes, lets a little whine as he scratches at the scales a little bit and goes, "Not my fault. We do what we have to. Keep the circle turning, you know."
Think what you're doing is fair or justice?
I think you might have me confused. I'm just the guard dog. She loves you, by the way, if you were asking.
You don't care about being rightful.
Darling, death ain't rightful. Death just is death. Comes to the bad, comes to the good, comes to the hardly in between. Ain't nothing right about death. He pads over to you and sort of sits beside you and lets out a little whine and sort of puts his head on your leg. I'm sorry. Just the way things are.
If you were truly sorry, you wouldn't have killed my parents all those years ago. Let them burn in a car before
Darn.
my eyes.
He stands back up again and goes, "Oh, I didn't kill them, darling. I'm not the one who writes the books. I'm not the one who makes it happen. I'm just the one who goes collecting. Your parents, I followed you not because I am acting upon those around you. I'm acting upon those around you because that is always what was going to happen. You don't bring death, Elizabeth. There is nothing wrong with you. Death just is." Are you ready to wait?
She pats the head.
He nods and sort of moves round to the other side of the scales. One paw reaches out and presses the button that turns on the weighing scale. Numbers start to flicker through, and it settles on a feather, and then it settles on something else, and it spasms, and it is uncertain. The dog looks down at it and goes, "Seems I'm mistaken. Wake up." As he says that, the voice changes, and a different voice is saying to you, "Wake up." You are in a bed. Your bed. It is sodden with water, and Alison is standing over you. She looks concerned, terrified even. Salt water has soaked through your bed and over your duvet. And as you stand up, she is standing over you, concerned and something else. You see opposite your bed the picture you drew, the picture of water, is hanging right there. Allison stands over you, her arm, one arm on your shoulder, the other arm pointed towards the water, as she goes, "What the fuck happened?" She wraps her arms around you, and as she does, she whispers in your ear, I'm never gonna let anything hurt you. And that's where we're gonna end things tonight.
Bravo! Wow, that was intense. Woo. Damn.
Inspiring.